Hey, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I'm Jabin Postal, and today at the grill we're making a smoky rack of spare ribs using the Jumbo Joe grill. And just like always, I'm going to put all the show notes for you in the description box below, so make sure to click down there to see everything that you need for this recipe. Also, if you like what we're doing on this channel, consider subscribing for more great barbecue recipes, tutorials, and reviews. And other than that, let's get into the cook. Today at the grill, we're going to be smoking up this delicious rack of St. Louis style cut pork ribs, and we're going to be doing it on the Jumbo Joe grill. This thing I haven't used in a while on video, but it's a regular in our summer adventures at the beach. I take it everywhere I go, and we cook, we have dinner, we enjoy the feast. I have done a review on this grill, so if you are interested in it, I'll put a link to that in the description below for you. To prepare these ribs, we're first of all just going to trim it up a little bit. You can see it's pretty well done. We have the membrane that we'll take off, and then there's a little bit of fat on the front here. Then I'm just going to slice through. We'll get some of that off. There we go. Then that membrane on the back, what we're going to do is just take a butter knife and we'll get underneath this membrane. We'll just kind of wiggle that. Get our thumb underneath. Then it just peels right off. All right, that looks pretty good. And so the next step we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some hot sauce, and I'm gonna use this as our binder today. If you don't wanna use that, you can use some olive oil, you can use a little bit of mustard. It doesn't really matter what you use. We just wanna add a little bit of flavor as well as a little bit of moisture so our rub can stick. And so today I'm gonna be using my Postal Barbecue rub. It goes really great on ribs, and I'll put a link to where you can pick this up in the description box below. Look at that backside rub down. Okay, we'll flip it over. We'll do the same to the other side. We'll add a little bit of our hot sauce. And again, I'm going to take our barbecue rub and I'm going to cover the top portion of these ribs. We want to make sure that we get our edges. All right, there we go. And so with our ribs rubbed down and ready to go, let's get the Jumbo Joe set up for cooking around 250 degrees. To set up our grill today, I placed in about 8 briquettes into the corner of the Sloan Sear, and I got them fully lit. Once they're fully lit, I filled up the remainder of the basket with unlit briquettes. I also added in my new dripping griddle pan that I just received for this Jumbo Joe grill. I also added in a handful of apple wood chips over top of the lit and unlit briquettes, just to add some smoky flavor. And then lastly, I placed a container of hot water over the coals just to add a little bit of humidity to the cook. Our Jumbo Joe has come up to around 250 degrees, so let's place these ribs onto the grill opposite the coals. All right, so with our ribs on the grill, let's close the lid, and we're gonna begin smoking these for about 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours, around that 250 degree mark. We're 2 hours into this cook now, and we've been cooking at around 250 degrees the entire time, and the aroma from these ribs and that apple wood is just very nice back here. So let's open up the grill and take a look. Oh, these look great. You can see right away that they're picking up a little bit of that color from the apple wood chips that we put into this, and they're still quite moist. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna rotate these ribs just to promote some even cooking. There we go. And then I'm also going to take my spritzing gun and then I'm going to spray these with a little bit of water just to keep them hydrated as they cook. And this water pan is helping to do that regardless, and so we don't need a whole lot. And so with that done, I'm going to close the lid, and we're going to continue cooking these for another 2 hours, maybe 2.5 more hours, until they're good and tender. Our ribs have now been smoking on the grill for about 3 hours at 250 degrees, and I know that the water that I placed in that water pan has all evaporated, and so I'm going to open up the grill and give it another spritz. You can see that after one more hour, that outside has darkened up a little bit, and there's starting to be a little bit of dry spots, and so that's what we're looking for, and that's why we're going to be spritzing this. There we go, just a quick spritz. Then I'm going to close the lid, and we're going to continue cooking this for probably another hour, hour and a half. And we'll come back when it's good and tender and ready to be sauced. These ribs have been smoking now for about 4.5 hours. We've opened up the grill a couple times and spritzed them, and so let's open up again and see how tender they've become. Oh, look at these. You can see that they have amazing color. That bark is set up perfectly. They're glistening, which means I know that they're going to be tender. You can see that when we wiggle between these bones, the bones are almost wanting to pull through. So it's the perfect time to get some sauce onto the outside of these ribs. All right, there we go. Those ribs are sauced, and so we're gonna let them cook for another 10, maybe 15 minutes just to allow that sauce to set, and then after that, we'll pull them off to get ready for the taste test. After just over 4.5 hours of cooking, these smoked spare ribs are all done. The color is phenomenal. The smell is great. You can smell that applewood smoke on there and all of those pork flavors in that rub just coming through really well. They're nice and tender. You can see that they've got some nice pull on the bones. And so let's slice them up and give them a taste. All right, these are sliced, and let's go for a taste. You can see that right away, there's a nice smoke ring on there. It's glistening. These are gonna be good. Let's go for the taste. Man. Oh, those are perfect. I'm telling you guys, these may be the best ribs I've had all summer. The flavor is just absolutely spot on with that rub that we put on, just coming through really nice. And then that subtleness of the applewood. You know, applewood and pork go really, really well together, and you pair it with the Jumbo Joe. Guys, the Jumbo Joe cooks phenomenally, especially for smaller cooks or single rack of ribs. You know, firing this up over firing up the big guy, you know, you're saving some coals, you're saving, I think, even a little bit of time personally. And the ribs speak for itself. They're smoky, they're tender, they're absolutely perfect. I need to finish this one and then go for some more. So that's how you make those smoking delicious pork spare ribs using the Jumbo Joe grill. They're absolutely amazing. Hey, if you want to see more barbecue videos just like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.